paste water. You can buy this on my Versio. It's all come from Kieran's inspiration and idea of making life easier. Got a bit of prep ready. Got a chopping board, got a knife, got a little bowl, hand blender to mix your onions later. She's got some garlic and ginger, tomato puree, oil. The most important thing is this she's got on her table. You need this to make the curry, guys. That's very important.
Step one, you want about half a cup of oil, and then you want to put that on a medium heat.
Remember, guys, she's using 1 kg of boneless meat chopped.
So at this stage, I just chop them quite thickly. If you don't want to blend them because you like the onion taste, you can finely chop your onions at this stage or dice them.
Left the oil on a slow cook at the moment just to nicely fizzle away. 4 medium-sized onions. Oil's nice and hot now, bubbling away nicely.
And we're just going to let that sizzle away.
Just covered the pot, guys, with a lid. Just left it slightly ajar, guys.
Just going to put all of this into a glass bowl to blend. All I'm going to do is blend. Try not to do it too much because otherwise you will just get mush. At this point now, you want to add your garlic and your ginger. It's just frozen cubes. These tend to be about a tablespoon. You want, for this curry, you want 1 of each.
Obviously, it's more for kids who don't like onions. Even people who don't like having onions in their food. It's more for that, guys.
What we want to do, wait for this oil to separate. Then we know that the onions have cooked through, and then you'll smell the garlic and ginger as it starts to cook. The onions will fuse together, so they'll kind of like start to stick together a little bit. That's what you're looking for. So you're just going to let it keep kind of like moving it over if you've got it on a slightly higher heat. You don't want it to
burn.
Excellent. Mix and just kind of slowly cook away. So this is now ready. This has gone nice and brown, and you'll see that the garlic and ginger is starting to brown off and come to the bottom. And then you are adding your chicken in at this stage.
Tracked 48 as well, guys. We get them nice and quick. For uni students, guys, if you've got kids going to uni this year, maybe buy a load. Either make it for them the first time, show them how to do it. What I love about this is 1 shopping bag at Tesco's, and that's all you need.
Just going to leave this to slowly cook, which will release some water as well. Chicken always releases water.
That's just got onions blended, and it's got your garlic and ginger paste.
That's it.
And it's got chicken. Nothing else is in there yet, guys.
So now we're just going to give that 5 minutes, let it fully all white all the way. You're actually basically waiting for the oil to separate, because oil is your indicator on whether it's been cooked through, whether you need to kind of like give it a few more minutes. So here I can see that the oil is starting to separate, so the chicken's all gone white. But what you'll also find with chicken is it releases water, so it's going to start to release some water now. And you can tell by how fast the bubbles are popping. White all the way. What I do tend to do is find the biggest piece and give it a break, and then you'll notice it's cooked from the inside. Although this is quite slow cooked, so the reason I put the chicken in first, it infuses with all the flavours. You'll find some people put the chicken in later on, after all the tomatoes and the spices, but I tend to put it in first, so it gets all nice and cooked through, and it becomes really soft for when you eat it.
Hasn't even put a single spice in yet.
So as you can see at the bottom now, the oil has started to layer at the bottom, so now we're ready for the next step. Our tomato puree. So here, all I'm going to do is put 1.5 tablespoons. You can use fresh tomatoes. Yeah, absolutely. You're looking for about half a tin. Double concentrate means you can leave it in your fridge. At this stage, I'd fill my kettle and just pop it on to boil, because you're going to need some water soon. You're going to just cook that through until that raw tomato smell kind of disappears, and you'll see that the oil will start to separate. So your oil is starting to release now, and then also your chicken will start to slightly get softer. So what you don't want to do is make sure it like breaks. So now we want to put the chicken spice in. So I'm now going to add this to our mix that we've got here. This is before the water. Okay, so after your tomatoes, and when you've got this nice release of oil at the bottom, you are then ready to put in your spice mix, and this is all you need to make it taste authentic and absolutely perfect every time.
Guys, that is all you need.
That's
There's no to add anything extra. No, everything in there.
All you want to do is fold this over now. So this, try not to mix here, because you don't want to break the chicken. Slowly fold over.
That is divine.
The spices don't take very long at all to cook through, and again you'll see the oil start to separate at the bottom once it's kind of fused through.
Eyes on it, guys. Here, do not leave
eyes on it here. For this bit, I do recommend using a non-stick pan, because if you do get a little bit browning at the bottom, it slips off easier, so you don't want it to burn. You just want to cook them through where the oil starts to release, and then you are ready for your next stage. A couple more minutes to let all those spices cook fully all the way through and just fuse into the meat. So you want to wait until your oil starts to separate out at the bottom from your spice blend. That is your indication that it's mixed in and all of the spices are cooked through and blended together. Next, add the water. I'm going to start off with 1 cup. This is to taste and
how much water you want.
So however much you want. So I'm going to make this with 2 cups, and I'll show you how that ends up at the end. Leave it on your medium high, leave it for about 10 minutes, and what you'll start to see is it will condense over, but it will slowly disappear, and as it disappears you'll start to see the bubbling underneath. And what we now want to do is leave it until you've got a nice pools of oil at the top, which tells you that it's all mended together. This is how much it's bubbling, as you can see. So it's not a slow simmer, it's quite a fast one, because you want it to be cooking through. You just want to leave that. We're going to leave that open slightly and then give that another 5-10 minutes. If you do want to make it a little bit more thicker, you can. It's completely up to you. So I like to just let it simmer for a little while longer. Yep, so I'm going to turn the heat all the way down, and I'm probably just going to leave it for another 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh my god, it looks so beautiful. There's no onions in there.
No.
You can't see anything. It looks beautiful.
That now is pretty much done. All you need to do is just let this sit now. This is your standard curry, which is nice and saucy. You can see the oil separated. Your chicken is there.
Look how beautiful that looks. This is the finished product, guys. This is Kayz quarter chicken curry with her beautiful spice blend mix. Finished deal is this, guys.